Coming to you live from just outside the swamp of the nation's capital. Get ready for invigorating talk, commentary, and debate on the issues affecting your life. Grab your favorite drink. It's Nightcaps with Nate. Now, here's Nate.
All right, welcome back to Phase 2, Nightcaps and Nate, Tuesday night. Normally we would have Natalie on. She was just on a second ago, but she got kicked off, so I'm sure she'll be joining us in a second. She is our resident liberal and our Tuesday and Thursday night guest host. And, of course, every Tuesday night we have Gabriel with us. He is not only conservative, but he is a Hispanic conservative, which makes him one in a million. Actually, no, it's a growing population. And he is a police officer, so he opines on all things law enforcement for us. We will not, as usual, name his police department because his union said, hey, probably not a good idea. So, how you doing, man? Welcome back.
Doing great. Good to be back.
Good. What are you drinking?
My usual Jack and Coke, man.
Jack and Coke. Not even Diet Coke?
Not even Diet Coke, man. Go hard or go home, right?
That's right. I mean, if we're going to mess up the liver, let's mess up the pancreas too. Let's just get it all. All right, Laura is on. Amber's on. We will wait for, hopefully, Natalie to come on in a second here. If not, then we will move on without her today. Lots of stuff. At first, I was checking all the news when I'm getting ready for the show. It takes me about 2 or 3 hours to get ready for the show. It didn't seem like a lot. And then I was like, holy crap, a bunch of late-breaking stuff happened. I had to reformulate my deck and everything so we can get in here and have the best show possible. So, by the way, make sure that you like or follow Nightcaps and Nate here on Facebook. If you want to comment tonight, make sure. I know we have a bunch of watch parties that go on. If you're hosting a watch party, if you're not hosting a watch party, go ahead and start one right now so we can spread the news to all your friends and family. Like and share. Thank you. And also go to my YouTube, Nightcaps with Nate. And you can just Google it if you want or YouTube search it and go to Nightcaps and Nate and like and subscribe, or actually just subscribe. We always post our videos afterwards on there, so if you ever miss an episode, do not fret. We will always have replays here on Nightcaps and Nate and at YouTube. And we are also podcasting through Podbeans, Apple iTunes, Spotify, all your favorite podcast plays. So if you want to hear the audio version on the way to work when we actually can go to work again, then you're fine. Or if you are a police officer and you're bored in a cruiser all day, you can actually play Nightcaps with Nate and get all your news from the night before. Laura says, Natalie must have Frontier, LOL, they stink. Yes, I don't know what she has over there. It does. All right, let's get into it, man. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm ready, too. I'm ready. So we're going to go right into it with Oregon. Looks like Natalie's going to join us. Natalie, how you doing?
Perfect timing.
She give her 1 second to come on. 5, 4, 3. Can you hear me, Natalie? All right, welcome back. I just went through the introductions. I already introduced you as our resident liberal for Tuesday and Thursday nights. Went through the likes and follows, and we are going to get into the first news story of the day. By the way, Natalie, are you drinking tonight? What's your nightcap?
I'm just having some Diet Dr. Pepper.
Uh-oh, watch out. That's what Willie's having, Diet Dr. Pepper. And actually, I mixed my Bacardi with Diet Dr. Pepper. Boom, really good.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
You're making me feel guilty.
Hey, if I'm going to have an alcohol problem and nightcap it every single night, Monday through Friday with you folks, then I am going to make sure that I do it with a little bit of aspartame, too. Makes you feel better. Go. All right, let's get right into this, man. Tonight, we are not only going to beat up on Michigan as usual because of their dumb Democratic governor, we're going to beat up on Oregon as well. Oregon. So, remember we talked about I'm all for snitching when there's an actual crime that takes place. If the police come out and there was a murder that happened, they cannot solve it and get your family justice unless somebody's going to step up. It was like the show the other night. They had like 130 people, 120 people at a funeral, makeshift memorial, and 19 people got shot and not one witness came forward. Okay, that's stupid. But then there's the other type of snitches. And these snitches do deserve to get stitches and wind up in ditches, okay? Because Oregon salon owner says Child Protective Services went to her home when she reopened her business in defiance of lockdown order. So she opens up her salon like a lot of places are doing, even in Michigan and stuff, right? Granted, yes, she knows she's going to face the repercussion from the government from the shutdown, right? But she never would have guessed that while she was at work, Child Protective Services went to her house because she may be bringing the coronavirus home to her kids. And they called that child abuse. A salon owner in Oregon claimed that Child Protective Services was sent to her home to check in on her children after she reopened her establishment in defiance of the governor's order. A governor's order, by the way, that, as you'll see in a second, got struck down by a court. Lindsey Graham, not the Lindsey Graham in South Carolina, Lindsey Graham female, Lindsey Graham of Salem, Oregon, probably a liberal. That's what makes this more fun because Oregon is full of liberals. And, she has all the tattoos. Now, I'm not going to say she's a liberal. I'm not going to judge her just by her looks. But if she was, serves her right for voting that governor. Because she voted for that governor, right? Said an agent from State's Child Protective Services came to her home when she reopened her salon, Glamour, in early May and was also fined $14,000 for reopening. Her babysitter or nanny said, hey, the cops are here. And they tried to, the Child Protective Services tried to interview the nanny, and nanny's like, I don't feel comfortable doing this, right? So they came back, they separated all the children, the father and all that, and interviewed them all one-on-one. Finally, the State Child Protective Services came out and said, hey, look, somebody, you're wasting our time. There's real abuse cases going out there, so they let her go. But my goodness, man, what the heck? Snitches.
Yeah, I think it's ironic that they called CPS on this lady when she just went to go open her salon, that she could pay the bills, put food on the table, and keep a roof over her head. And in my opinion, I think she's a responsible parent, and any lawyer worth their salt should be able to have an affirmative defense using the necessity clause.
Yeah, apparently they went through, they opened up refrigerators and all that, and they're like, man, the house is clean, good 2-parent home, nice looking little family here. I'll show them on the screen one more time. Go ahead, Natalie, what do you got? There's probably not a debate on this, but.
Well, the CPS, I would be interested in knowing what the complaint was. Was it just a coincidence, or was it the state actually trying to go after and bully her?
It doesn't really matter.
Out of it.
We were watching this horrible show. It's on Netflix. It was called the Trial of something Gonzalez or something.
Oh, Gabriel Gonzalez.
Oh my God, man, broke my heart. I couldn't even watch it.
Terrible.
I just read what happened and couldn't even watch anymore. Poor kid went to police, went to there, had 25 Child Protective Service claims against him from the teachers who did the thing, and they didn't check up on it, and that poor kid got killed, murdered, beaten to death.
And the sad part about Gabriel is that he was from a family, like he had grandparents just months before.
Yeah, and uncle that took care of him too, and they even called CPS, and then they went to the CPS building, and the kid saw a security guard and thought it was a cop. And said, hey, look, I'm getting beaten and stuff. And the security guard couldn't do anything because he's just a security guard. And he risked his job and called the caseworker. And still, all these people happened. It was horrible. So I'm glad.
And social workers got charged for that. But
they got let go because
California. And this is in Oregon, right? Oregon?
Yep, just as bad as California.
So it's a different state, and I would be interested in seeing what it was.
I'm glad that they went out and checked at least. That's all I'm saying is I'm glad they went out and checked.
I was going to say the same thing. I think they do have to at least go out and investigate.
There were a couple cops,
regardless of what it is.
There were a couple of cops too that from the LA school district, and I think they have their own police department, and the sheriff's department got disciplined too because they could have taken the kid into custody right then and held that kid for that, and they didn't do it. I don't know. You're a police officer. If you see a kid in dire straits, are you allowed to take them away from the parents and hand them over to CPS?
Yes, there's a place we take them to, but I mean, that has to fit the criteria for it. We just can't take the kid for something petty like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not like this. I'm talking about like that Gabriel
something
thing.
Like that.
All right,
no, absolutely, yeah.
So then, Scott says, "What's up, Nightcaps and Nate?" By the way, coming September 4th, we are going to have a Nightcaps and Nate every Friday night. Friday Night Lights to discuss football. Scott Bocher is going to be my permanent guest host, and we will have other guest hosts interchange out. Dave Adams will be on there, and then we'll have one other person. We're going to talk about all the top 25 college football and NFL games that are going to be coming up, and we're going to have a running tally of who has the best guesses on who's going to win these games. So just wanted to plug that out there. We're going to talk about that later in the summertime. Judge tosses out coronavirus restrictions by Oregon governor. You're starting to see more Wisconsin do this as well. A lot of these Democrats have overstepped their bounds, and the judges of their states are calling them in. However, she did appeal, and the Supreme Court of Oregon has put a stay on it. They're not saying that they're not going to stop it, but they put a stay on the restrictions, so the restrictions can go back into effect for now. But you're starting to see more and more sheriff's departments. This is what I like about sheriff versus city police. City police have to do their job. A sheriff is elected, so he can tell his deputies, hey, this is the laws I want enforced. These are the laws I don't want enforced. And you're seeing a lot more states do this because they're standing up for liberty. Liberty first, baby. Liberty first. This show is all about first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth amendment, whatever amendment rights. You guys have Texas is not locked down anymore, right?
They're slowly lifting it, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's open.
Good governor there, Abbott. Good Republican. How about Indiana over there?
Indiana it's opening up slowly but surely. Restaurants are starting to do dine-in again, and
good Republican governor, right?
yeah.
And how about Michigan up there? Hey, anybody online can tell me about Michigan? Go Buckeyes. Yeah, Michigan. Yeah, I think you guys are opening up by regions and stuff. And go. Oh, by the way, Gretchen Whitmer was back on national TV again. She's an attention whore, not because she's a female. She's an attention whore just in general. She's just an attention whore.
Why even use the word whore?
Okay, she's an attention getter. Okay, she's an attention whore. I don't care if she's male or female. I'd say she's an attention whore. She is. She's never on like WDIV or whatever the local Detroit stations are. No, she's always on NBC.
I agree. I think that all of this is up in Michigan are political at this point.
It sure is. And she's just trenching in. So now northern Michigan, Traverse City up to northern Michigan, which should have never been on a strong lockdown in the first place, is
and I'm from Grayling, Michigan. I know you never really lived there. I lived there, and Grayling is poor all the time. So now, if you're taking away their livelihood, that's a real problem for that's starving up there.
Yeah, they live on the National Guard training base up there and tourism. And if you cut them off, either of those two, which both were put on delay, you've just suffocated Grayling.
Sure did.
Yep. And that's not just.
I feel like that Detroit and the cities. I understand the hard restrictions.
Got it.
For those cities.
I'll agree with you there.
But it was not it, and even West Michigan and Grand Rapids. That's a big city, you know.
Yep.
But you're getting into the rest of Michigan, which is all rural.
Very desolate. More desolate than any place here in West Virginia.
You're just killing them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Pennsylvania though, we're not gonna let you off the hook either. So this doctor, Rachel Levine, Pennsylvania health official, moved mother from nursing home as death skyrocketed. Guess what? Pennsylvania and New York are those two states that actually moved COVID patients into their nursing homes. Why? That's like moving a gambler into a casino to recover. I mean, what a dumb idea, right? So they moved all them, but guess what she did? She moved her mom out. Oh, by the way, does she look like a dude? It's because she is. That doesn't even look like a female. Whoever did her plastic surgery and transition needs to get fired. She should just fire him and sue whoever did her transition because she looks nothing like a girl right now. But speaking of transvestites, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer confirms that she is in talks about being Joe Biden's running mate, but says she is not being formally vetted yet. She's not really a trans. That was just my joke. Fell on deaf ears there. I thought it was funny. She looks like Dave Adams on here says that she looks like Bruce Jenner. You know who Bruce
or Caitlyn?
Well, both. One and the same, right? Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer confirms that she is in talks about being Joe Biden's running mate, but says she is not being formally vetted yet. So she's on NBC Today show, of course. Confirms she's in talks. Guess what? I'm putting my money down right here. Okay? For the 1,000 or 2,000 viewers tonight, mark my words. I give it a 40% chance that the New Mexico governor is going to get picked. Why? Joe Biden needs a governor, somebody who can lead, because he's probably not going to make it through the first term, mentally nor physically. He's either going to die or he's going to get pulled out because of the 25th Amendment. And he's going to need somebody who can lead from day one. Stacey Abrams is not it. Gretchen Whitmer could, but she's too polarizing. Heck, she might face her own recall election. They need somebody safe. And he would like a minority, by the way, and Gretchen Whitmer is not. So that leaves him down to Kamala Harris, who's got her own baggage, or Stacey Abrams, who's never led a thing in her life, or this New Mexico governor who's Hispanic. Guess who he's going to go for? In my opinion.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
If I had to put my money on it right now, watch it. It's that New Mexico governor. She's going to get it.
And you know who's going to try to leverage that Hispanic vote with that New Mexico governor, too.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, what? Right, exactly.
Yeah, first Hispanic vice president. I mean, that's a huge thing.
That's huge. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he'll make as big a dent as Barack Obama being the first black governor, because even a lot of Colin Powell, who is a black Republican, he even voted for Barack Obama because it was going to be the first black. The Hispanics' plight has never been as bad as the black plight here in the United States. Nobody's plight has. Right. So it doesn't mean as much But I still think that Trump still gets a sizable portion of the Hispanic vote, especially with the males. I really do.
Absolutely.
I think he's going to capture the evangelicals and the Mormons. There's a huge Hispanic Mormon contingent out in Nevada, Utah, and all that. Of course, Utah is going to go red anyways. If he can flip Nevada to go red, he's on his way to the 270. And we're going to get more into that. Carrie Daniels says holla, not hola. She says holla, 2 L's. Okay?
Oh, holla.
All right. Trump is refusing. This is break of tradition. 40-year precedence. Did you hear about this? Trump is refusing to unveil Obama's portrait at the White House, breaking a 40-year tradition. Guess what other tradition was broken? Another tradition that was broken first by President Obama is that past presidents don't talk about current presidents. George W. Bush never talked about Obama the whole time he was in. George H.W. Bush never talked about Clinton the whole time he was in. Why? Because there is a precedence that presidents do not talk, past presidents do not opine on current administrations. They say the job is hard enough that you don't have to go in and make it any harder with your own opinion. But Obama, just like Clinton kind of did, but Obama has really done, has broken that. He could have been a gentleman. He could have just let President Trump lead. He could have talked about Trump later after he was out of office, what have you. But no, he's been all over the airways trying to save his boy Biden's election chances. And so Trump, I don't blame him. A lot of people are like, oh, they're so classless of Trump. Why isn't he going to unveil the former president's portrait into the White House? Well, why don't you shut your mouth? Why don't you play by the rules? We'll play by the rules.
Yeah, I mean, Obama was touted as a classy guy by the left all the time, and then just going back on this, I mean, what's that?
I said he is classy.
Oh, I mean,
he's
really?
He is sometimes.
He just can't stay out of the limelight. Yeah. He can't stay out of the limelight. He can't help himself.
Well, he's trying to. He obviously believes in something. You have to understand that President Obama was a community organizer, and so his heart is in organizing. He really is. He's not just a career, politician. He goes and he fires people's up, and he gets the communities together. And
okay, good. So, and he has that right to do that.
So he just does what's in his heart. Good. He does not want Trump in office. He wants Biden in office.
Good. And I hope he doesn't want in his heart to see his portrait unveiled at the White House because he's uninvited. Oh. Yeah. Okay? I mean, hey, you can't sit there and you can't be a prick to someone and then expect a niceties in return.
I have a feeling he doesn't care.
I have a feeling he probably does.
Trump would care. I don't think Obama cares as much.
Obama cares?
Obama cares. It's funny. I see what you did there.
Hey, Gabriel, when you pull somebody over and they're really nice to you, is there less of a chance of getting a ticket?
Oh, yeah. Unless it's something really egregious.
Right. But I'm saying, you're 5 over, forgot to turn on a blinker.
I've had people talk themselves into tickets.
Exactly. All right.
I'm like, I was just give you a warning, man.
I've always wanted to know this. What do you do if you get a crier? Like somebody's like, they're like crying and they're just like,
depends. If they're annoying crying, you give them a ticket just for being so annoying. If they're don't get him in trouble. He treats everybody fairly, like, no matter what.
I asked him, why are you crying for him? It's just a traffic stop. I mean, that's all I'm doing.
Jeff Lincoln says the heart is evil. Chris Hanners, well, they didn't until President Obama. Shitbag move. Chris also said, check out the beer. I sent you in PM. Oh, yeah, by the way, when we're live, please don't PM me because it goes ding right over for everybody here. But, yes, I checked it out. It's called Evil Monk. It's from Petoskey, Michigan. Looks good. Looks like a Belgian-style ale. Nobody, not even Barack, wants Biden in office. Chris says, Dave Adams, why did he wait till the last minute to endorse Joe? I think he didn't want to piss off the base, the Bernie bros and sisters out there.
Hey, what was that beer again? Is that a local beer?
I guess it was called the Horny Monk or Evil Monk. I don't know. Chris, you can type in there. Close. Well, it was called Horny Monk.
Oh, okay.
Hey, well, a horny monk could be an evil monk. You never know. All right, moving on. Mnuchin says employees who reject offer to return to work are ineligible for unemployment benefits. He says, quote, if you offer a person a job and that person does not take the job, then that person would not be allowed to get that expanded unemployment. Why? Because a lot of small businesses are saying, hey, never in my life did I think that I was going to have to compete against the government's unemployment insurance.
Well, then they need to pay their people more, isn't it? That, like I said, like people, it's kind of like survival of the fittest. All right. So like people will, wherever the money and the resources is going to come from, they're going to take it. So if they're getting paid $600 more per week with unemployment, and a company can't match,
whose idea was that, Natalie? Just answer the question. Whose idea was that? Who put that into the bill? Democrats, Republicans?
Well, I'm sure it was probably Democrats.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, dig people to vote.
Yeah, but the thing is that before, we know that before, people couldn't live off of small wages. Before, everybody knows that.
Okay, but the Republicans.
So what we really need to do, and this is something that Democrats came up with, and that's called raising the minimum wage, so that people don't feel like they have to take unemployment insurance. How sad and
You're
how
talking.
that people feel like they have to take unemployment over a job because they get paid so little.
Okay, so on this current unemployment, they get $900 a week. $900 a week, right? Now, grab a calculator. Never fear, I will do it for you. Okay? We're going to grab a calculator together. Let me pull this right over to the screen over here. Now, $900 a week divided by 40 hours. Ready? Let me bring this over here. 900 divided by 40 hours. My bad. Boom. 900 divided by 40 hours. You saying that minimum wage should be $22.50 an hour? Because most say, hey, $15 an hour.
Jesus Christ.
Well, so guess what? The Democrats want to addict you. Guess what they did during the Obama administration when they had supermajorities? They extended their unemployment so long that they found out that people were not entering the workforce on purpose. So the recession went on longer because employers couldn't find people to get it back into the job market. Guess what Republicans tried to do? They had to get this passed, so they both had to give and take, and they finally gave in on it. But they said, no, we will give up to $600 more per week, up into your cap of what you were making anyways. And the Democrats said, oh, you know what? You just don't trust the poor people to report correctly. You know, they're not going to take it if they don't get it. Yeah, right. A lot of people are now not getting their thing. So guess what? When you give up people free money, which, by the way, is never free, people are going to take that money and sit home. I don't blame them. It's human nature. I would too. But it's not good public policy.
I have an idea. How about we take the money that we did the corporate buyouts and give that back to the people, which is $18,000 per citizen. Mm-hmm. That's how much it costed for the corporate buyout.
Okay.
And how about we call it a day?
How about we don't shut down businesses for a hoax like coronavirus in the first place, and then we wouldn't have to give anybody a buyout?
I'm just calculating $18,000.
All right, let's move on. While you calculate that, you can tell us what it is. So Biden, because he's such a funny guy.
Yeah. Oh, just a second. $18,000 divided by 4 months is $4,500 a month. There's 4 weeks in a month. Divide that by 4, and that's $1,125 per week, which is more than the $900 a week. So how if we hadn't done the corporate buyout and we had just given every citizen $18,000, then we'd be much better off.
Yeah, but then every citizen, you're not thinking long term. Every citizen would go home, come out of the quarantine lockdown without a job because all these businesses would have been gone out of business.
I was just about to say, at the end of the day, this is all just the stopgap until we open everything back up.
The corporations have had nothing but tax breaks all along, and that's their defense, is that they're the job creators. Yet they always want bailouts whenever they're like this.
Let's say a corporation, let's say Pier 1 Imports. How we'll use that, right? Big corporation, right? Let's just say that they did not know a coronavirus is coming. They did get the tax cuts, so they invested it back into their business, opening more stores, taking on leveraged debt, what have you, because something like this is unforeseen. Boom, they get hit. And let's just pretend that after having to shut down for the last 3 months that they're going to now go out of business. Because that's a true story. Pier 1 Imports is going out of business.
Yeah, Pier 1 Imports has already had problems. The one in Valparaiso was closed in February.
Okay.
In December, I was in there looking at their cheap furniture.
How about Logan's?
Already had major financial problems.
How about Logan's Roadhouse? How about all types of different businesses are going out of business because they were shut down through no fault of their own? Amber says everything goes up when the wages go up.
Who's really going out of business is the small business.
Exactly.
Yep, I agree with you.
Part of that corporate welfare you're talking about is the PPP. That part of that 18,000 that liberals like to quote, including yourself, is part of that small business program too.
Yeah, it's mainly for corporations. The small business money is being held up right now. It's already passed, but Trump is holding on to it.
Trump has already released it. It's been released in 3 different waves already. Dave Adams, why do you wait till the last minute to endorse it? Oh, we already heard that. Scott, Respect the Blue. Jeffrey Lincoln, this isn't evolution. Chris Hayner, Secretary of Treasury, just put out late today that any person who refuses to go back to work will be cut off. That's what we were talking about. Everything goes up when wages go down. Jeff Lincoln says, socialism, gimme, gimme, gimme. You know, that's the problem with socialism. As Lady Thatcher once said, the problem with socialism is that eventually you run out of other people's money to spend. Danny Clerk,
because right
pin
now
comments make it so I can't see the comments. Sorry, Dan.
Right now we have corporate socialism.
Yep.
So you can sit there and blame the little people all that you want to, but let's fix it from the top all the way down.
We do. And that's the difference between you and us. And we will not solve this today. We are a trickle-down economic country. Every corporation that does well will hire new people. Jeff Lincoln even sees it. That's why we had the economy we had, corporate tax cuts. And Danny Glor, you should be able to see the comments now because we unpinned the comment. Joe Biden, because he's so smart, so quick on his feet, has come up with a new nickname for President Trump. This is how funny it is. Trump is out there tweeting again this morning. I now call him President Tweety. Crickets. Crickets. Crickets.
It took him long enough, man.
Crickets.
He's got to pump up those numbers.
My goodness, he's such a funny
Trump's got
guy.
nicknames for everyone.
New York Post headline: Biden finally comes up with a nickname for Trump, and it's pretty dumb. Yeah, come on, dude. You got to do better than that. You know, I don't even like all of Trump's nicknames, but some of them are pretty damn funny. Some of them are hilarious.
Some people do that. They deflect and they go low like that, but Democrats, we kind of go with Michelle Obama, rise higher. When they go low, rise up, rise
Nicknaming
low.
the President of the United States, President Tweety, is going higher. I think he was trying to go low and he just failed.
That's why he's so bad at comebacks. He comes up with shitty comebacks is because we're not used to it.
You guys are the queen and king of label, man. Republicans, faux news.
Always call us the names and then call us snowflakes and everything.
You are,
else.
yeah. We do go with snowflakes and libtards. That's about as bad as we get.
Terrible. How come in 2020 people are still using variations of retard? Have you ever thought about what it would be like if you had a child who was mentally retarded? You had to hear that.
Yeah, I bet you it's pretty
mentally
safe.
handicapped.
It's
mentally handicapped.
2020. I mean, we should be above that. We should be beyond that. In the special needs community, I would never even utter that word. We call it the R word.
The R word. Well, we call it the L word.
It's a derogatory word. It's no worse or better than dyke or fag or any other terrible name.
I'm guilty of saying that too sometimes. Not as much now that it's becoming faux pas. But I mean, when we grew up, when we were kids, like, hey, faggot, what's up, right? But we don't do it now. It has changed. I'm going to admit, it has changed. And I agree. I don't ever use the word anymore now that it is actually a bad word. My wife calls me a douchebag sometimes. And I'm like, my kids are like, what's a douchebag? When they got finally older,
Nice.
It's like, well, something that you like clean out your vagina with and like, Mom, don't call Dad a douchebag again. Now she just calls me a DB. Hey, Joe Biden, he first of all has this like disastrous. He needs to get out of the basement. Looks like he finally got out of the basement and he opened his windows and he's trying to make these funny statements and stuff, but there's like geese in the background. There's also something else in the background. Watch this video and see if you notice it. Come on.
Corruption. Trump was out there tweeting again this morning. I call him President Tweety. Reopen the country, end of quote. How are we supposed to do that if you're sitting on the money small businesses need in order to stay alive?
Hey, first of all, let's go back.
That. If you're sitting, reopen the country, end of quote.
He actually read end of quote. I wonder if he's reading off a teleprompter. All right, let's just watch this. Sorry.
How are we supposed to do that if you're sitting on the money small businesses need in order to stay alive? Stop tweeting about it. Get the money out to Main Street now. It's there. It's been passed. This pandemic is hitting everyone hard. We need serious, competent leadership now.
End of quote. Hey, did you see what was in the background? Watch. If you didn't see it, for my viewers, right there. Look over his right shoulder. Who is this guy? Okay, now this was planned, okay? This is, his handler said, hey, you know what? Let's take you out of the basement and get you in front of the garden. Put some, I don't know, let's open the windows. I don't think they accounted for the geese back there quacking, honking, or whatever they do. And then some gardener or some dude who's going to get fired is sitting there walking into the frame over and over again. and then starts like creeping, just staring. Like, wow, what's this going on here? I mean,
Creepy Joe's
nobody.
getting creeped on, man.
That's what I was about to say. Finally, somebody's sniffing him over the shoulder.
I don't understand why this is so crazy. It's just somebody walking by in the background.
Because this has all been like choreographed and stuff. You know that dude had no business being back there. That's why he kept walking in and out of the picture. And then finally he just like, hey, I'll stay here. I'm surprised he didn't like go like, hey, mom.
He's got the sign holding.
Yeah.
Hi, mom.
Watch out, Creepy Joe. There's a creepy guy behind you, Amber says. Jeff says, don't worry. Joe will forget. I can't believe you said end of quote. I call him President Tweety, end of quote. Jack Michael says, my city is corrupt. Will someone talk to me about it? I've got a lot of evidence concerning human rights violations, constitutional rights. It's pretty bad. Hey, Jack, try to, if you get this, I know you're about 30 seconds behind, but go ahead and write down what city or comment on what city you're in, because I'd love to hear about it. Oh, my God. So, Creepy Joe, poor guy, man. He should not be running. I mean, who put him out there? His wife should love him enough to say, Joe, let's just stop, okay? Pick your running mate and then just get off it and give it to them, and we're just going to back out of this race. Of all the candidates, Natalie, that you guys had, and I got to get Jeremy on here. I wish Jeremy was watching so he can opine and help you out, but he could have got the gay guy from South Bend. What's his name? Pete Buttigieg. Booty something, right? He could have got Klobuchar. He could have got Kamala. I mean, y'all could have picked any number of people. Bernie could have beat Trump. 2 times in a row, Bernie could have probably beat Trump. And your party's too stupid to realize that.
And honestly, I thought Bernie was going to take it.
And guess what? As a Republican, not a Republican, libertarian that votes Republican, I was scared to death. I was at first scared to death of Bloomberg with all his money until he got out there. And I was like, oh, this guy's, he's just as bad as Joe Biden, But Jack says Shreveport, Louisiana can wait until after the show. But bottom line, nobody is his friend. Does everybody hate the guy so much they're like, yeah, dude, run. That's a great idea. You still there, Natalie?
Is she still there?
I think she froze up. Go ahead.
You think it's a sign of disparity that they're just settling?
I think that they were using him, thinking that he could barely win, and whoever his vice president is, somebody that would have normally not been able to get elected, would have came in. But now they know he's in trouble, so that's not going to happen. I think that they were trying to get a Kamala Harris or a Stacey Abrams in or what have you. But
right, so now they're trying to bring a second strong vice president to take over.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to do something. And here's the deal. I always get made fun of because that's my saying. Joe Biden took it from me, by the way, people. Here's the deal. If he gets pulled out and they don't put Bernie in, the Democrat Party's going to fracture because it's really Bernie's turn being second place that he should get it. But instead, they're going to try to put in Cuomo. But now Cuomo's in trouble with this whole nursing home scandal and everything else. I mean, there's a no-win situation there, man. If I was a Democrat, I'd be very, very depressed right now.
Oh, yeah. I'm right there with you, man.
Because they handed an unpopular president who has a very strong, fervent base, but they're handing him the election. I don't care what poll. You're going to see a poll in a little bit here. I don't care what poll is coming out right now. Hillary is way up early on. Doesn't matter. They're not going to do it.
Even the night of, she was still up.
And for any of my Democrat friends that are watching, guess what? Guess what your party thinks is a good idea? So in the Mueller, in this ongoing saga with Flynn and all that, and with the Supreme Court getting some of these records, they put it out what their true intention is. Dems tell the Supreme Court of the United States that they need secret grand jury materials for a second Trump impeachment.
Mulligan.
No, I don't care. That even if I was a hardcore Democrat, I'd say stop the investigations and start legislating. Get something out there. You guys have done nothing in Congress but investigate. People get tired of that. Even on the left, they get tired of that nonsense. Come on, man. Another impeachment? You're going to put the whole country through another impeachment?
Right. So now they're trying to get a hold of or release the redacted material, right? From the Mueller
That's exactly it. Yeah. Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee told the U.S. Supreme Court they want another opportunity to impeach President Donald Trump, and they plan to use one-time special counsel Robert Mueller's secret grand jury materials to make their final decision. No president has ever been impeached twice, ever.
Right.
Especially for the same thing. And if they think that that's a good road to go down, that is a dumb mistake. They are obviously they are obviously tone deaf to the whole situation here in the United States.
Okay. I just want to say one thing here.
Go ahead.
Going back to Biden, okay? Yes, the Democratic Party is a little bit depressed right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, though? Well, how come you conservatives and you Republicans aren't depressed? I mean, this is your opportunity. Trump, the economy is...
We're ecstatic.
The one thing that was going for Trump was the great economy. And now you guys got out of it. The economy sucks now.
Yeah,
now
but nobody in America, even on the left...
Back in 2016, you guys had a whole panel of decent people. You know, I mean, they had, I don't know.
That would have got their asses handed to them by a media bias.
People. You guys chose Trump?
Yes, the only one that could win and did win. And here's the other part. The media was going to coordinate Hillary no matter what. Only Trump had the balls to beat her. And I'll tell you why. Because he actually took on the media. Second, Trump's economy that went sour because of coronavirus, nobody, not even on the left, is going to blame him for that come election time. They're going to call that. In fact, you know what? Had the Wuhan virus not come here, the economy probably would have slipped into a minor recession. He probably would have paid the price at election time. He actually now has top cover and saying, hey, it's not my fault. I didn't know China was going to unleash a virus. And everybody is going to buy that, and they're going to believe it, and it's good for them. We are ecstatic. We don't have to... We do not have to be depressed in any way. You guys make us happy with the crap you guys choose every election cycle. You chose Hillary last time. You chose Trump? Yeah, and he won. and guess what his highest marks are in polling right now? That he's so good at rebuilding, he can rebuild anything. He's going to rebuild the economy. He's a builder. That's what he does.
Yeah, well. We can only hope.
Chris Hayner's a QAnon guy. He says, you guys need to check out Q. Second impeachment won't happen. Dave Adams, Natalie, you have more sense than that. Economy not his fault. Bottom line.
But that was the only... No, what I'm saying, Dave, is that was the only thing that he had going for him. He was an asshole to the immigrants and with the whole wall.
Come on, I'll let you go ahead.
A racist attitude. I remember when he was campaigning, I'm going to build a wall. And he would say it like with this glee, you know, like, yeah,
build the wall. Build the wall.
And dreams. They're going, going.
Lock her up.
It costs $2,000 for a poor family to pay to be able to get all the way to it's a life savings. And he takes glee in ruining people's lives.
I take glee in it too. You know why? Because then the word will get back. Hey, keep your $2,000 and better your life. Buy a business or do something, because guess what? You're not going to make it in. We don't have the capacity. I'm going to go ahead and let Gabriel handle this. He's Hispanic. Go ahead, buddy.
What's wrong with the wall?
No, the problem. No, here's the problem that I have is that this is all policies that we disagree on. I am perfectly okay with somebody who says, no, because I don't, for economic reasons, I don't agree with them coming over. I agree with a strong border, blah, blah, blah. But if they are saddened when families are pushed away, but that's not the attitude that conservatives have. Attitudes take glee in ruining people's lives, and it's nothing but mean spirit. Ugh.
All right, go ahead, Gabriel. You get 30 seconds to respond. You're done. I got to cut you off. I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude, but Gabriel's got to have a chance to respond. Go.
So I don't see what's wrong with building a wall in the first place. Okay, so it's actually he's protecting us, because it's not. I get it. So there's some of the people that do come over do mean well, right? But the vast majority that do, I almost say the vast majority, there are people that have ill harm or they want to do ill harm to the United States do come over, and I don't think that's fair to us, and I don't think that's fair to the people that do try to come over legally.
Well, that's fine, but the problem is a lack of perspective.
There's two things you're talking about here, Natalie. Is his rhetoric and what he's actually done.
Okay, well, that, like I said, if there are people who have a problem with it because they think, I just don't think it's economically feasible, and they have real reasons for it, but they take pity on the people, and they are truly sad for the people who get pulled away. I have a lot. I can listen to them. I can hear them. I can, we can try to sit down and talk about it, find common ground on, but it's the mean spirit attitude and how people are. They take happiness, or they call them names, or a conservative who's close to me, I won't name him just for his own
privacy.
Dignity.
Yeah.
Yes, and privacy. he will make jokes about shooting them.
That's dumb.
As they're coming over the border. That's sick.
But I do think that we should put an electric fence up. I really do think we should have electric fence.
That's awful.
Electric fence? So it's just like Trump.
What specifically was mean-spirited?
That he's did you just hear what I said about?
No, he's talking about Trump
as he's coming over the border.
Yeah, I'm not talking about him.
What are you talking? Who are you talking about?
You said Trump. You said Trump, right?
Is mean-spirited?
Yeah, I was talking about conservatives in general.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes the rhetoric gets a little heated, but Trump is just smart.
While he was running, I remember him taking glee, having that same attitude. Oh, we're going to build a wall.
Yes.
I don't see a problem with that. That's not mean-spirited.
In fact, now he's not only building the wall, Natalie, he's actually ordered them to paint it black. You know why?
He called them murderers. He said that they're all the worst people come over here.
That's not what he said.
He said the governments allow the worst people to come over.
Nathan, know illegal people, and they're nice people.
They are
right.
They don't kill people. They're good people. They're not rapists.
He's not saying that all of them are coming over. He said that there's some people that do come over that are like that.
Yeah. He said that the government.
You're cherry picking.
What he was saying was
that's not what he said.
They actually literally, and they've got proof of this. They actually sometimes take prisoners out of prison because it's very expensive to incarcerate them and make them go to our country. It's damn sure not fair to a taxpayer, legit worker. Chris Hayner says Jeffrey Lincoln. They don't spend their money. It was George Soros' money. Sure. Yep. That's who fund those caravans. Chris Sanders, due process, Natalie, due process, that's the bottom line. Come on over in the right way, through the gate, in the wall, or through the open door.
Like I said, if a conservative just has ideas.
Hey, Trump said he wants to build a big door.
We just can't afford them or whatever. I might, disagree, or I might, we might not agree. But I can at least, I don't get mad at conservatives. I get mad at the ones who are mean about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he also said he doesn't have a problem with people coming in legally.
Nice.
That's exactly what he said. Trump did say that.
He has also said,
quote,
say it in public, that he
we need a big wide door.
People that come over legally.
He said
it's the people that come over illegally that he has a problem with.
Right.
Okay, but there's a lot of really good people who come over here illegally, and I'm not discounting that too.
I'm
not trying to change your mind about them being allowed in legally. I'm saying have perspective and have pity on people, and so that when you do have to put them and say no, you have to go back home. I don't know, maybe shed a tear because they just spent their life savings coming to the border.
Well, how about this? I'll agree with you that there are some good people that come over. Will you agree with me that there are bad people that come over? How about having some pity on us? How about having some people that came over the right way?
Okay, how about in every group of people, white people,
so you're not going to agree with me?
People, no, every group of people, illegal people who come over here, legal people who come over, every group of people, there are bad people in that bunch. It would be statistically impossible for there not to be bad people who come over here illegally. But can you agree with that? So with white people, tax-paying white people, there are some bad people in there.
Yeah, but they're here, and that's our problem. Yeah, sorry, stop. Ding, ding, ding. You back in your corner. You back in your corner. Go to your coaches. I'm going to referee here. Listen, bottom line, yes, in every group there's bad people, but we're not talking about people that are here legally. We're talking about illegal people who come over like MS-13 and all that stuff. Bottom line, take a deep breath. We're going to move on. This next thing will make you happy, Natalie. Ready? But I'm gonna pop the balloon as soon as I give you the good news. The Hill, another poll. Biden leads Trump by 6 points. Voters sour on pandemic response. 53% of respondents say they would cast their vote for Biden if the election were held today, while 47% said they would back Trump. Problem is with these polls, like I've said over and over again, is they're not polling likely voters at this point. They're polling registered voters, which always skew Democrat. We know that the turnout on the Republican side is always more fervent. So this is the thing. And if you believe polls this early on, we would be talking about President Hillary Clinton right now.
Yeah, you have to wait. Yeah, I agree with you, Nathan. We do have to wait until the last week. I am happy to see that that there's more Democratic favor. I don't really particularly like Biden, but I would love to see Trump out. So, but we have to wait till the last week.
Hey, let me ask you: when Trump wins, because that's where my money's going. When Trump wins, are you going to be one of those liberals that are like crying?
Am I going to act like the conservatives in Michigan saying not my governor and do not my president again? No, I won't. No.
I have not seen one conservative say not my governor. But if they did, shame on them, because it is their governor, just like it is your president. And I fervently believe that. I used to call President Obama my president. I hated when people said that because I'm like, dude, Don't, quit being a.
I agree.
Yeah, liberals are the worst at it, man. Sore losers, crying. Even the media people, because they were all ready to pull the champagne themselves behind the scene on CNN and stuff for Hillary's win, and they were just deflated, man. It was so funny watching it. Someday we're going to show that full video, maybe right before the election. All right, moving on. Study projects that U.S. COVID-19 deaths to triple by the end of the year. Guess what? Everything's been wrong so far, so who the hell made the study up? I don't know. Here, let me just give you a little hint, guys, okay? First of all, even George Soros and even Bernie says that more poverty kills more people than anything, which is true, okay? So unemployment's remained above 9% into 2021. Right now it's at 15%. Guess what? Poverty's going to kill more people than coronavirus. Second, we may have a vaccine by then, so guess that's a stupid projection. None of these predictions have held true yet, and the only way to get herd immunity is through reopening. So we have to reopen, so get over it. I went through, after I saw this slide, and looked at 8 different studies on 538. 538, which is a liberal site, shows all the different models, and they range between 101 to 141,000 deaths, which is not as bad as the flu pandemic and during Woodstock. So, is it bad? Yeah, it's worse than the flu. But is it so bad that we should have destroyed our entire economy? No. Just like when Woodstock went on, we should have had our own Woodstocks going on. Herd immunity, baby.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's like the conservative cop-out because they just don't.
Herd immunity?
Yeah, no, you guys in the whole Sweden thing and everybody get out, herd immunity.
Yeah, Sweden, a liberal country. Woodstock, a liberal event, took place during, by the way, it was called the Hong Kong flu. Was that racist, by the way? And even the president of the United States got it. Who was the president then? I think it was LBJ or somebody.
You know what's really great about liberal countries too?
What?
Is they're really great at following the rules. And they're really great at, like, when they send out guidelines for social distancing, they actually do it.
I know. And then when they get a leader named Adolf Hitler, they actually follow that and commit genocide against those Jews. But they're good listeners, though. They sure follow those rules.
Following the rules, unless they have something to do with borders.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can bring the 1940s into it, but this is
it's the same mindset. When I was in Germany,
countries they follow the guidelines and they follow the rules, and they're culturally more compliant. Whereas Americans, we have stupid people who go down to the Capitol and start, I don't know, mobbing and rioting.
The whole reason that we had to legalize abortion is because we had stupid liberals out in the back alley sticking coat hangers up their vagina to terminate an unwanted pregnancy. So who follows the rules?
The teenagers that we're trying to protect, and because the thing is abortion is a reality.
We're not gonna get on the abortion thing.
Only liberals are the ones that recognize
what I'm saying.
Let doctors do their job.
Okay, and guess what? Getting out and being social is a reality too. So bottom line, it isn't about rules. I lived in Germany. Germany, no joke, it could be 2 a.m. They're so good at following rules that if the stop hand is up, on the little light to the crosswalk, they will literally not cross a road even if there's not a car in sight because they're so conditioned to follow rules. It's also how we got Adolf Hitler. I kind of like the way that we are a little rebellious in the United States. It kind of keeps our government in check. Dave Adams, by the way, did remind me, John Glenn's widow died of COVID today. She is a statistic, but she was 101 years old, though. So, she lived a good long life. Hey, guess what else is following the rules? Let me ask you this. Since we're going to follow the rules, Alan Dershowitz, a constitutional lawyer of Harvard Law School, says that state has the right to plunge a needle into your arm, whether you like it or not, and that they can force you to follow the rules and get vaccinated against your will and your kids. They can literally grab you and your children, detain you, and force a needle into your arms if people don't want to follow the rules. How do you feel about following the rules now, Natalie?
Well, I think that when it comes to vaccinations, there are 2 things that you have to think about when it comes to vaccinating kids. Is that, first of all, parents are willfully letting their child be at risk of getting sick. And their child is an autonomous person and who deserves to have health care. The second thing that you have to think about is that anytime that you decide not to vaccinate your child, you are letting that child possibly pass it on to other people, and the other people have the right to not get sick.
All right, this wasn't about vaccination.
Two things to consider when you're going over this topic.
Do you think the government has the right to grab your child against your will and vaccinate it? Let's say the PVC,
Absolutely
the
not,
HPV, the HPV vaccine. You know, the one that's controversial. Do you think that the government, let's say you were against vaccines, now your child at 18 can go and do whatever she wants, right? But until she's 18, you're saying, hey, no vaccines. I'm your mother. I have an inalienable, which means God-given right to parent her. She is my offspring. She will not have the HPV vaccine. Do you think if Governor Whitmer said, you know what, I think it's a public health emergency, we're going to now grab all the young ladies in school, line them up, and give them HPV vaccines? Do you think that's okay?
For the HPV vaccine, I will have to agree with you, Nathan. That one is one that
we're not talking about vaccine. I'm saying we're talking about following rules here. Big government says that the federal government or the state government during a national emergency, which this is a made-up ass national emergency, 0.5% death rate, should not even count as a national emergency, has the right to use this national emergency right now to grab your daughter and force her to be vaccinated against your will.
You keep repeating what I said a few minutes ago, following the rules. And I was talking about guidelines that were set by Sweden. So now you keep going on and on about following the rules. And this one is a mandatory one, which is one that I actually agree with you on, that we shouldn't have. So I'm
saying, HPV, do you get what my point is, Gabriel?
Is this for an HPV?
No, I get what you're saying.
It's not about HPV. It's about, should the government have that much control over your rights?
No, absolutely not. Because it's violating the 4th and 5th Amendment.
When it comes to children, I think that children also have unalienable rights.
Inalienable.
A right to health care.
Inalienable right to health care. So if you're 6-year-old and a government bureaucrat, which we've already seen a Texas judge do, side with a mother with a kid who wanted to transition permanently, if your daughter all of a sudden at 6 or 7 years old say, hey, I feel like a boy, and wanted to attach
apples and oranges
here. What I'm saying is that's healthcare. That's healthcare.
Healthcare.
It's an inalienable right.
Now you're going to make a doctor perform this surgery.
Okay, but a 6 or a 7-year-old, that's not the same as a vaccine for like whooping cough. Okay, a 6 or a 7-year-old, if they go to a therapist, and their therapist will probably say that give the child a few more years. You know, I would love to see what a psychiatrist, or not even a psychologist or a therapist would have to say about it.
Yeah, and they did. There's always a loony.
They're not always liberal.
They're all loonies. Yes.
I have a friend of mine, and I won't use his name because
privacy. Okay, we got to move on. Go ahead, finish out.
Who is a therapist, and he doesn't agree with the majority of it. So not all therapists take this radical view about it.
All right, Chris Sanders, oh good Lord. Smitty, rules are made to break. Look at the political parties' rules. Laura Fish, look up the Fed law. Obra, 1987, patients' rights. Whitley Page Kerr, I wish someone would try to grab my children herself. Middle finger, okay. No. In the words of John Panette, I say nay, nay, nay. Chris Sanders, David Adams, pass over. Chris Sanders, amen, sister. All right, moving on. Trump, this is called leadership. This is what every other president promised against China and other countries and organizations that are screwing over America but never had the balls to do. But we have a president with balls. He has put the World Health Organization on notice, gave them an ultimatum. Change or the U.S. will permanently, not just temporarily like we have right now, we will permanently stop its funding, which, by the way, is 40% of its funding. Balls or dumb? Go ahead. 30 seconds. We really got to move on. Natalie. World Health Organization.
Go ahead, Gabriel.
Go ahead, Gabriel. Nothing? All right, good. We'll move on. Trump gives the World Health Organization. Yeah, World Health Organization ultimatum. Change or the U.S. will permanently stop its funding. I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right. I call it leadership. Okay, I'm just going to go with it because everybody's having audio issues. Trump does say, you know what? Every president has promised to take on China, has promised to take on the UN, has promised to take on NATO funding, has promised to take on everything. It's only been one president my entire lifetime, including Carter, even Reagan. Reagan was tough, but Trump has been the hardest. He has taken on the countries, said, hey, fund NATO or we're out. World Health Organization, get online and quit getting on your knees for China and giving them beegers or we're out. China, play by the rules or we're going to sanction you. Oh, don't want to play by the rules. And he actually sanctioned them. This guy is tough as nails. You can say Trump is a bloviator. I'll say it too. You can say whatever you want about Trump, but what he said he was going to do, he has done every single time.
You're talking about the WHO, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right there with you, man. I'm glad he's saying something. I'm glad he's actually standing up.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Oh, remember when Gavin Newsom was on all last week saying, "Oh, we need that federal money so bad, so bad, man. We're going to lay off frontline workers." Well, illegal aliens have jammed the phone lines as California offers $500 each in coronavirus relief. California is doing their own little relief. They have $75 million for their relief program, but yet they're begging Alabama, Mississippi, and all the fiscal conservative states to bail them out. That is a wet dream. California and New York are the wet dream of liberalism, and it's failed. In fact, name one big city that's under Democrat control that has done well. I don't want you to name your city.
One. I can't think of one.
All right, name one. Democrats. Just like Trump said, what the hell do you have to lose? I'm looking right in the camera right now. What the hell do you have to lose? Do not vote the same party for 40 years to lead your city or state and think that anything's going to change. Nothing will change. You're electing the same people. This is why so many immigrants come up from their country, because they've been electing the same people for decades and nothing's ever changed. And instead of staying there and electing somebody different, they want to come up here. And then when they become citizens, a lot of them become freaking socialists.
Hey, when that money's gone, they're going to want more handouts. They're going to want a bailout now.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Hanna says, don't forget Illinois. Yeah. Crazy. Oh, Jeff Lincoln has a good point. If Natalie's listening, I know she dropped off, but hey, what about what about the inalienable rights of unborn babies? They have rights. What happened to them? Good question. Good question. All right, moving on. Republican challenger in Oregon. He's an Army vet. Raises more money than incumbent Democrat in key Oregon House district. He's going to flip that. That is crazy.
Yeah.
U.S. Army veteran, Oregon 4th Congressional District Republican candidate Alec Scarlatos said Tuesday he had outraised Representative Peter DeFazio by 2-1 in April. That's crazy. Hey, if you have a little extra money laying around, go to his website. Let me put it on the screen here. His name's right here, Alec Scarlatos. Chip in $5 or $10, man. Let's flip a seat. We've already, you know what? This reminds me of the election of when Bush was running for re-election. It was supposed to be John Kerry was going to win, and they're probably going to flip the House and the Senate. And what ended up happening? Bush won by a pretty good margin, and we not only kept the House and Senate, but we gained seats in it. I think this is turning out that way because there were a couple special elections last week that the media was totally silent on. That was supposed to pretend the blue wave that's going to be coming in 2020, and the Republicans won both of them, flipping one seat from blue back to red. So, this is good news, guys. Don't let the media and the polls beat you down. They are doing that on purpose to try to ruin your enthusiasm. All right, this right here I couldn't wait to get to because this looks like a good time. I mean, except for nearly 200 people are arrested and 2 are shot as hundreds of revelers hit the beach in their trucks for Texas annual Go Topless Jeep weekend celebration. Despite social distancing orders, nearly 200 people were arrested, 2 shots. Apparently, a couple rednecks got into it, and somebody shot. 2 people were injured. Do you know anything about this, Gabriel?
Yeah, it happens every year. The event and the arrest. So that's just drunk people going out there. So
looks fun.
Think it's probably more. Hey, oh man, I haven't been, but I heard it was fun. I have friends that go out there. So I think the arrest probably a little more compounded because everyone's just stir crazy. They go out there and just want to have a good time. But
I've never seen more pickup trucks than when I lived in Texas. When I lived in Texas, man, pickup trucks everywhere.
Hey, man, it's Texas right there, man.
There's nothing more American.
I would like to respond to Jeff Lincoln, who said, what about the unalienable rights of fetus?
We got 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes.
I will quickly just say, when you can prove to me at what point in gestation and in pregnancy the fetus becomes a person, and you can argue a point there, then I will talk to you. But if we got to move on. Just a second. If it's just a heartbeat, then you will have to become a vegetarian because animals everywhere have heartbeats.
Okay, animal is not the same as human fetus. All right, real.
Oh, yeah, I could go on.
All right,
never mind. Go ahead.
We are going to. I want to show this one video. So GitHub, what do they call it? GrubHub driver kicked in a door, and these people were mad. Look what this guy does to this girl.
You just threatened to run her over.
You threatened to run me over. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you can't tell me to shut up. No.
Call the police on the police for you, baby. Because you just kicked our door. This is too much disrespect that we get on a day-to-day. Like, and we're just trying to be essential workers to feed people. This is ridiculous. This is totally ridiculous.
You are racist. Because he was violent in my store. Don't you worry about that. You don't do what you do. That's why I called the police. I wasn't wrong. You was.
Whoa, motherfucker.
I don't think it's funny, but man, he did warn her. I'm going to run you over. Hey, that guy, he took his job a little too seriously. He had to get to his next GrubHub order.
How come he didn't pay her?
I don't know what he did. I don't know.
It sounds like he didn't pay. Why were they blocking his car?
I don't. Oh, because it wasn't that. He had.
Wasn't he calling her names or something?
No, he was trying to get in, and they were slow to unlock the door, so he kicked the door or something. And so then they called the police, and they were trying to block him in. And he said, "Look, I gotta go. I'm gonna run you over if you don't get out of my way." And he did. Now he was arrested. He was charged with a felony, hit and run, and all that stuff, which he should have been.
He should have been, yeah.
But at the same time, this goes back to take down the license plate and call the police. You don't try to play cop. This is exactly what happened with them rednecks who shot Arbery and all that. Quit trying to you don't have the right to detain people unless A, it's a felony, which kicking a door is not. It's a misdemeanor. And 2, get out of the way, man. Take down his license plate. You know the GrubHub, you know his number because they have to call and put it on there and stuff. So plenty of information. Call the police. Don't try to be a cop.
I'll tell you what, that's a brave girl, though. Man, to stand in front of somebody's car because I
Or
would
stupid.
be thinking he's gonna run me over.
Or
I gotta
stupid.
get out of the way.
I wouldn't take that chance, man. It's not that serious.
Was it brave or dumb?
It's not that serious, man.
No, it wasn't. And I know they felt disrespected and all that, but dude, take down the license plate number, have it on video, call the police.
They probably wanted him to fix their door.
I don't know.
I mean, probably. I mean, like you said, he had his license plate. I mean, he could probably ID the person, so
Yeah.
it's not that serious.
I was on the show last week with Kareem, and Kareem had said, hey, we were talking about this guy named, he's an El Chapo enforcer, and his name was, they call him the Anthrax, the Mexican Anthrax or something like that. El Chino Anthrax. Well, Kareem was smart and said, hey, because he was let go out of prison, he was put on probation, 2 months later he went missing. And so apparently they thought he fled to Mexico. Sure shit, he called it. Kareem, you were correct.
California.
No, he's in Mexico, dead, wrapped up in blankets. The bodies of Aracheca Gamboa, which is his name, a woman believed to be his sister, and another man were found wrapped in blankets in a luxury SUV on the outskirts of Culiacan, the state capital.
Culiacan. Oh yeah, that's a drug-infested town.
Yeah.
Man.
Relatives later identified the body, so they called it. Guy met his mate. Hey, that's kind of like a hey. This guy was called the Anthrax because he's a murderer. This is my karma story. Hey, by the way,
One of the cartel families or something.
Yeah, he was El Chapo, the guy who.
El Chapo. They got
El
El
Chapo's
Chapo?
no, his enforcer.
It's
El Chapo's in prison. He's in our Supermax prison, but they got his enforcer.
He breaks out every other day. I didn't know if he broke out again.
Not Supermax.
Oh, no.
He ain't getting out there.
Yeah.
Of course, you said that about Anthrax. Hey, thanks for watching the show tonight. It was a pleasure having you guys both on. And Natalie, you still got to get your internet fixed. Make sure that you go and like and subscribe. Subscribe at YouTube. We will see you tomorrow night for one of my favorite nights. Redneck Wednesday is coming on tomorrow night. We will see you tomorrow at 9 p.m.
This has been Nightcaps with Nate. Please join Nate for a nightcap every weeknight at 9 Eastern here on Facebook Live.
Peace.